Alright. So let's, I think I know what to do here.
Like, nobody has mentioned that Damien Tenma was also Wizen. Or...
Which is why... No prints. How can we be sure it was Rex when there was no prints found? So I want to go back to... He's not wearing gloves.
No.
So how do we know...
Does LaBelle, does he wear gloves?
I think so. But interesting, Damien here isn't wearing his, like, fucking turban of, like, warding charms.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're just there to cover up the gash on his head from being smacked.
Maybe.
Objection!
Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice?
It's very easy to make him question it.
Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back after the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. Your game theory.
No.
It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well. Let's hear what the defense thinks is odd about the detective's statue theory. There are no fingerprints.
It's not broken?
Clearly broken. There were no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he is quite gloveless indeed. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you? Apollo's theme, cool. Ah! Oh, this can't be happening! Did I arrest the wrong man? Where the fuck is Gumshoe?
Yeah, I miss Gumshoe.
You did it, Apollo! You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse! Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman... that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber? Isn't there always? Exactly. And this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? No.
We might have looked this up before, but are assertion and assertion the
Yep.
same word?
We had this discussion last week.
Yeah. Was that last week?
Yep.
Oh. I thought it was like last game.
No. Nope. The least you could do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. Fucking weeb!
Dono? We're accepting donos.
That we are. It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackquill. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship.
So I'm just trying to hear his music.
Oh, okay. Well, I can play it when we're...
Yeah. The fan is kind of drowning out the noise.
Hmm. Hey, Scott! Who is this skunky man? This is Simon Blackquill.
He's a hot skunky man.
He's a... He's a samurai of the courtroom. He's a fucking weeb.
He's also a prisoner.
Yeah.
He's an inmate. So he's in bondage right now.
He's on his way to kill Dracula.
He lost his sword because he killed someone with it and they took it away.
This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackquill. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime.
Okay.
Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at?
The mayor was dying and wiped his prints off the statue? That doesn't make any sense.
No. Hone your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now let's see. How was that cloth used? Was it used by Kyuubi as a head covering, to wipe up blood, or to wrap the statue?
I mean, he wouldn't have had time to wrap the statue. It was also under a chair. So if he clocked him with the statue, right, his killer,
Yeah.
he'd have no reason to wipe his own prints off it
No.
because it was self-defense. And he was dying, so he didn't really have time to wipe his prints off it. In that situation, you're not thinking, oh shit, I hit him with that, I better wipe my prints off.
No.
Like if that was his killer who had just skewered him with a spear.
So I have a counter argument, or theory.
I have one more thing to say.
Oh.
And then, oh.
What?
You just went for a panic there.
Oh.
But
I'm always panicking. It's my default state.
he's, like, splayed out on the table.
Right.
All impaled and stuff. So how did that, if he was wiping his prints off the statue that was next to Tenma on the other side of the room, how did it end back up under the chair on the other side?
That is... yeah. I guess the game will answer that as we go.
Hope so, otherwise it's stupid.
But I was thinking... that statue is also very broken.
Mm.
So what if this is literally a red herring?
Mm.
And that statue was a gift from one to the other. And the
Yeah.
cloth is what it was already wrapped up in.
Yeah.
So Damien gets beamed on the head, and the blood seeps through the cloth onto the statue.
Yeah.
It would also explain why it's broken, because, well...
I don't know if they're going to acknowledge that it's broken, are they?
They have to, right? Because it's a very,
It's
like...
very clearly missing an arm.
Yeah, like the Tarossi is, like, right there. The Tarossi. The Tarossi is right there.
No!
It's Shark Week.
No! No!
As a head covering makes no sense, though, because... well...
He doesn't wear bandanas.
no, and he's got a, like...
He's got a perfectly styled hair. Why would he wear a head covering?
yeah, but he was also stabbed. So if he was using it as a head covering, why would there be blood on it?
Yeah.
So that makes no sense. Still don't like these feathers and footprints, though.
No. Okay.
To wipe up the blood, obviously it makes no sense. So, let's go with wrap the statue. Because it's the only one that makes sense out of the three, I feel.
Yeah, why would the mayor be wiping up his own blood?
While he's got his... Oh, well, so Damien's the mayor.
Oops.
Yeah. They had to distinguish between mayor
Oh,
and
sorry, did
alderman
I say
for
the
this.
mayor? Sorry, why would the alderman be wiping up his own blood?
And this is why they have two different titles.
Yeah.
So... maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth? In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Ah! Precisely. Bully for you, boy. Ah, it was nothing. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did? Ah, I did.
Does Black Bill's music have like a prison alarm in the background? Like when there's a...
It might.
Like when there's a... what's it called?
I'm not able to hear it from here, to be honest.
What's it called when all the prisoners break out?
Like a riot alarm
A
or
riot,
a raid?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a riot alarm.
Anyway. I don't know. I really can't hear it, and I don't want to...
That's all I can hear.
Yeah, I can barely hear any of the audio. Just from where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
And if I increase
also
the... If I
through the mic.
Yeah, if I increase the volume anymore, it'll come through the mic, so... Right. That's the statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints. Is as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. But Scott, it's been a while. How are you doing? Ah, oops. Ah.
2 pages?
Now do you see how dull your mind is? I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that he always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore.
Yeah, serial killers be like that.
Oh, no. Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait. So the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef? I don't know what it is, but Apollo's like, I'm done with everything face is so much better in 3D than it is 2D. It's just something funnier about it in 3D. It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kind of attached to that hole. Apollo justice phrasing! Now what?
Oh, you little weirdo.
Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Oh, why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it.
Can you get prints off fabric?
Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please, illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady.
Don't say the demon.
There's only one answer. The real killer. Prove the exhibit.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't even get time to reach for the mic there.
prove the existence of this real killer, then? What evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, all right. Athena, are you sure about this? Oh, I'm sure. To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Oh, she didn't say the line. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting that some sort of monster killed that alderman? That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Objection!
Uh-oh. No, Athena! You lost what little credibility we had left! Ah! I love that.
Surely she means that it's the person dressed up as him.
Right.
Because earlier on in the day, we saw someone dressed up as him fight the wrestler.
Yeah, they're just being...
So there's definitely a Tenma Taro costume somewhere.
Ah. Can, please.
Can do.
Oh, putting it in front of the thing was a good idea.
Mm.
Sorry. Guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Oh, Athena, slap the shit out of him for that one. Ouch! You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright.
He's up there. Mr. Wright!
So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it?
Come on, Apollo.
No, Your Honor. I believe they're a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Why didn't you let Athena get to that point? Typical man.
This girl is being stupid. I better stop her.
Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed?
Come on, Apollo.
Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is. Ouch! This I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright.
We can see you.
Hoy, Fulbright. Explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that? Blackwell explains it all. Ha ha ha! Our investigative prowess is without equal! I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Very well. Let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks.
The lady in the background off to the side, she's the same as that one, but her face is like floating off her head just as it zooms in. See this yellow shoulder?
Yeah.
It's her again, but her face is like way off from her body.
Ooh, alright. Feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetails helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
He didn't fabricate the monster, though. That was already part of the legend.
Yeah. Those feathers and tracks stoke the villagers' fears. Absolutely! He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenma Taro, that is.
When did he have time to make footprints after being clocked with a statue?
Uh-huh. Tenma who? Tenma Taro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. And yet none of us have pointed out that Damien Tenma shares a name with this foul beast.
Yeah.
From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon. And thus they were blinded to other, more plausible explanations.
Hold it!
Oh, hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at the QB Manor. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenma Taro.
Thank you. Costume exists.
Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection!
Objection. Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. Oh, what? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believe the murder to be the work of the real Tenma Taro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenma Taro suit is the killer. Ah! The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Is he trying to say that Damien Tenma was wearing the costume?
Yep.
And attacked the mayor and then got knocked out and was suddenly not wearing a costume? When did he change?
Uh-huh. Yeah, this
You're not making any sense, and you're calling everyone else stupid?
Yeah. Like, Blackwell is one word away from using a slur at this point.
Yeah.
Objection!
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright. Right! It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetails was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers, and a hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetails Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so. A particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey.
Is that Loki?
You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Yes, well... Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Yes.
I just want the prosecution to lay out their timeline of everything.
Yeah.
He wore a costume. He went in there. They had coffee. The mayor the alderman fell asleep. The mayor stabbed him. The alderman picked up a statue and clocked him with it. He then took off his costume while he was unconscious.
Yeah. It's a bit...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit all over the place. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to... Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's been like 5 or 10 minutes since we actually had the testimony.
Yeah.
So we'll just press everything.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers.
None of them have a motive to frame him for a crime, no?
Was when the accused showed his face. The angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenma Taro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait. Are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenma Taro? I'm confused.
You still haven't put that together.
I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the guy. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act? Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters.
Hold it!
The amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? Oh, that's right! Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. When do we get our amazing Ninetales Steel Samurai crossover?
Never, because he did.
Why do you hurt me? I could just recast the role.
Just making sure there was game sound.
Okay. No, there is. I can...
See it all the way down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. See you after the ad break, everyone. You
They
can...
can't hear
Yep. And he was a lone wolf. Or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. Did he belong to Wrestling Entertainment? He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion.
Say his name,
Man, he appears. I believe in the Ninetales. I believe in the Ninetales. 'Cause I love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Tenma Town. They're saying, I believe in the Nine Tails. I believe in the Nine Tails. Wave your hands from side to side and say, I believe in the Nine Tails, 'cause the Nine Tails are so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in the Nine Tails. The Nine Tails is the prestigious one. 2 streams in a row I've been able to get that song in. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare clip.
Well, people didn't see it because of the ad break, so, you know.
You won't be able to make a clip long enough.
See? It's still going.
Okay. Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss of face for the Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. He was amazing! If there was ever a real superhero, it would be him! I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday! I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackquill. A police detective and a prisoner in chains? You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. So you do understand the greatness that is the amazing Nine Tails.
There you go.
Oh,
You okay?
yeah, it's getting warm in here. Which I don't know how because that fan is on. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster.
Hold it!
Did the murder and the yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect! The presumed return of the dreaded Tenmataro has them shaking in their boots! Oh my. Is it really that bad? That superstitious lot. It's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. I mean, technically because of Great Ace Attorney, we know he was real.
Yeah.
Well, they went with a Jane the Ripper, didn't they? They went with that version of it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my brain immediately goes to Madame Red
Oh, yeah.
in Black Butler. It was also kind of a Jane the Ripper.
The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words. Makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can only be one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tracks.
But when?
Ah, The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer.
Hold it!
But it doesn't add up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, why not stop there? Why murder Alderman Kyubi? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So Your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
Perhaps this killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. Startling discovery? Oh, why don't I like the sound of that?
Oh, the mask? Yeah.
Alderman Kyubi's secret identity. Apollo! I think Prosecutor Blackquill has figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetails. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene.
Yeah, we reattached it, we know.
Also, that implies the mask is made with real fur.
Yeah.
Or a fox.
Yeah.
Oh my. But why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and the member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say more? So, if the theory here is correct, and the Alderman really was the amazing Ninetails,
Alright.
that just makes the Alderman like any pro wrestler ever who says, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
He said, I'm retiring, and then came out of retirement under a mask.
God, look at that neck. I can't get over it. They knew what they were doing wrestling-wise when they drew that neck.
Oh yeah. It's thick.
He got traps, he don't got no neck. I hate that when their traps go like directly up the side.
Oh, yeah.
They're nearly up to their ears.
Oh yeah. No.
Pretty sure Brock Lesnar has that.
Yeah, he's like, this guy is thick with 3 C's, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Need I say more? Well, could it really be? Your boldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Rex Kyubi, was the amazing Ninetails. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. Hey, proper close-ups with the background doing the thing. Did he blink?
He did. I don't know if he blinked in your photo
Yeah,
though.
that was more so what I meant, but yeah, okay.
Don't give him eyeliner in prison.
No!
Oh, he's got fabulous boots. Can he do the what's his name?
Oh,
The other
like,
prosecutor from
oh,
past?
Van Zeeks.
Yeah, can he do the boot?
Order, order. What a shocking development. A motive clearer than crystal. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie in the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your boldness?
Maybe he had a no compete clause.
I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona
He's a politician.
just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement. Very astute of you, your boldness. Right! Now take a look at this! Blackmail letter.
Oh yeah.
If you value your dearest's life, you will merge Ninetails Vale with Tenma Town. Dearest's life.
Yeah, so this is the letter that Damien Tenma got.
Oh yeah.
So his dearest is Jinx.
Is Jinxie, yeah. I was like, Rex? Does Rex have a dearest? This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Kyubi's pocket. At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. Ah, there we go.
Of course she is, but that's not... Damien Tenma told us about that letter. And how it went missing.
Unless he... And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait. Didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder? And planted it into the alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talk about being up a creek without a paddle.
You could at least talk about it. Bring it up.
Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he'd just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetails. So it was the amazing Ninetails counterattack that brought the entire crime to light.
So their idea is that he knocked him out with the coffee, then did all that shit to the room.
And then stabbed him.
Then stabbed him.
And then got beamed across the head for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy that.
No.
Oh, wait a sec. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And then that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Okay, let's press it then.
Hold it!
So let me get this straight. You believe the mayor planted the yokai evidence before the murder, not after.
Well, where'd he get the blood then?
Absolutely. And then he was knocked out cold by the alderman's last punch. He wouldn't have had a chance to plant the evidence after that. Something's not right here.
Now, were there tracks in the blood? If there was no blood yet.
Hard to believe that a stiff, humorless man like the mayor could be behind such a stunt. We have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. Then we're going to need to prove that Mayor Tenma didn't plant that yokai stuff.
It's his coffee cup.
How are we supposed to do that? Ooh, okay.
Okay. Back to this part. So what do we have to press here then? Or do we present something? Press that again. Or do we show the picture with all the blood?
Yeah, because there's fucking tracks on the floor.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Where
I
did the
know.
tracks come from?
Yeah, so I think now is when we bring that up.
Yeah.
Objection!
Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What's this? You dare question my justice again?
Always.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Take a look at this. No, it's not the full word. You don't get it.
Do it.
Look at this photograph! This is the crime scene photo. And just what does this prove? You think the document would be sideways if we're looking at a photo?
Yeah. He's just looking at a sideways photo. Like...
It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I already told you, they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence and then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene. Has to be this, right?
That or the big pile of blood, yeah.
What do we think? Chat, do we just tell them? Do we just point at the tracks?
Or the blood.
Take that!
Okay.
Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice?
They're all so stupid.
Yeah, but see how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, the yokai evidence could have only resulted after the murder. Then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. But you said it yourself. The mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant any evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else beside the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene. No, there must be some mistake.
It's not gonna be Jinxie, is it?
Oh, that'd be a twist.
Hmm.
15-year-old Jinxie kills the mayor. I mean...
Or the alderman.
Oh, the alderman, yeah. Like, oof. I mean, Dahlia Hawthorne exists, so age has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like this little scared little, oh, demons everywhere. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe she realizes what her surname is. And what town she's actually
I
from.
want my inheritance, father! Order, order. Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any. Can you?
Just show it to you.
Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you. You do? But how?
Oh.
Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked?
Oh.
He's taking this really hard. Why is my... What is my hand doing?
I don't know, because my arm's not
No.
moving.
Just likes to... Like, I wasn't even doing the thing where I talk with my hands.
Yeah.
It was just acting on its own. It's... Oh. There we go. Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It's the sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene.
Not.
It was the demon. It'll show us again.
Yeah.
It was the demon Tenma Taro. He's the source of those feathers and tracks.
Could you not have said it was the demon cosplayer? Instead of sounding like a nutcase?
Yeah, especially after you chastised the fuck out of Athena for this earlier.
Yeah. They're all like, the daughter of the accused
Will somebody please say something?
saw a monster, huh?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy!
So he does know his surname.
Your boldness. It appears our defense attorney here is delirious from exhaustion.
Hold it!
Apollo! Think of something quick! Before you're held in contempt of court!
Her whole screen is red.
What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out.
I don't like Apollo's shocked face when I really focus on it because it looks like he has a long beak on one side of his face.
Oh yeah.